and the Tinkerbell part, like every time Tinkerbell comes out, like it's just, first of all, I want to try that.
I think you have to be like 65 pounds.
You do. Yes. I would lose the weight for it. I would. Absolutely.
That's why you're doing the
Peloton.
The Peloton. Yeah.
You're gonna try out for Tinkerbell. Well, I don't know if y'all. I don't know which Facebook group it was going around. It might have been Rope Drop Humor, the one that I talked about last week. But there was one, and it was a picture of Tinkerbell, but it was clearly like a grown man.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So there's hope.
Tinkerbell's a man.
There's hope.
From 150 feet up, nobody's gonna know what I look like. As long as I got the figure and the wings on, it's fine.
I think you look cute in LED blonde hair.
Right? Sign me up. What is up, and welcome back to Going Beyond the Castle. I am one of your three fabulous hosts, Fred Briley, and I am henceforth going to be known as Chaos Quinn number 2. With me is the fabulous Chaos Quinn number 1, Miss Ashley Rude, and of course the podcast Ventress, Miss Lori Talabone. All I'm saying is last week I was told there was going to be a crown. There it is. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, got it. Let's go. Let's go.
There we go.
I was like, I am, and thanks to my good friend Lori Bush, she gave us these crowns when we went on a trip together, and I kept it.
Look at that.
Yes. So,
well, I'm proud of you for wearing it. I'm going to change your little thingy to podcast princess.
Go for it.
Anyway, welcome back. We're super excited to be back for episode 34. I hope everybody had a fabulous holiday weekend. I think I could speak safely for all three of us and say that we each had a pretty great holiday weekend.
Yes.
Well needed time spent with family. So hopefully you guys out there that are listening got that time for you as well. So tonight, as we wrap up the weekend, we are heading into all things Disney nighttime shows. So there are two experts in this group that can talk about it, and one that's going to wing it because she doesn't believe in nighttime shows. But that's okay.
So I'm the one who's winging it?
Yes. Little Miss, I never stay for the nighttime shows.
I have been to them before. I just don't stay all the time.
Thanks. That's all I needed to hear you say. Anyways, so we're super excited to dive into that tonight. But before we do have one announcement. It was a pretty slow week for the park, but I'll hand it over to Miss Ashley and we'll cover that announcement.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I get started, I just posted to every Facebook group I could, and I think my new goal is to see which Facebook groups I can get banned from after they see advertising Going Beyond the Castle. So, if you're out there and you're on Facebook, please find us wherever you can and boot me out of whatever Facebook group you can. Anyways, yeah, so the only very sad day at Walt Disney World is today's the last day for the Liberty Square boat and Tom Sawyer Island. But I think as of now, it is done operating.
It is.
I have a friend who actually worked on the Liberty Square boat, and him and I were chatting today, and he was saying that, he's actually surprised at how long it took for him to kind of scrap it. But
we've had the conversations many times.
Yeah.
The Liberty Tree or the Liberty Bell for a very specific set of people that went to Disney, and it wasn't a majority. Like, unfortunately, like back, 90s, early 2000s, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
But nowadays, like, it's not. It was super great for people who wanted to chill in the parks, or especially for kids with special needs that kind of needed a break to get away from the park.
Yeah,
and the loudness of it all. Like, Tom Sawyer Island was fabulous for that. And there was definitely a lot of families out there that do Disney differently than everybody else, where they pack their lunches and they take their time and they do stuff. It was fabulous for that. But for what I feel like Disney is targeting right now, which is the do it all, see it all, spend all the money you can, it's just not great for that target audience.
Yeah, I agree. And there was a quick service stand out in Tom Sawyer Island, so even if you weren't a pack your lunch kind of family, kind of catered to everyone. It was low key, and I only went over there like once, and I barely remember it. But yeah, definitely. It was quiet, it was secluded, and it will be missed by some people, but not all.
Yeah, Josh and I went for the first time. I don't know when we went, maybe in February for Liv's cheer trip. I was like, let's go check it out. Oh, we might have went in 2014 when we took the kids, but we had never gone back. So I was like, let's just go one last time, check it out.
I really debated it with Jamel, and I was like, I have way more important things to do. So,
yeah.
Yeah, the priorities. I think we mentioned this like previously. Like when you are like planning your day, you're like, yeah, we'll probably have time to hit it. And then like once you're in the swing of things, it gets to be like 7, 8 o'clock, and you're like, oh, we didn't even go to Tom Sawyer Island like we had planned. So
did y'all see that lineup for Epcot? The band lineup?
Yeah. Eat to the beat.
Yeah, I'm super sad. There's some solid bands on that list that I'm kind of salty. Makes me want to book a trip.
I'm pretty sure last year we went through them and I was like, I don't know who this is.
You didn't know any of them.
I can't help it that I'm old.
And then I would be like, Laura, you have to know this person. She'd be like, no idea who that is.
Well, and then some of them, to be fair, like my whole family, I don't know why. I don't learn the names of people. And Josh will talk about an actor or a band. I'm like, I don't know who that is. And he's like, yes, you do. And he'll tell me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I know. So some of them I may know, but
that was a lot of them.
Yeah.
Joey Fatone and friends. You know who Joey Fatone is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Toby Mac will be there. Mercy and Me will be there the week we are there.
Uba Stink. Like, come on.
Who?
Ben Rector?
The Fray.
Did you say Uba
Come on,
Stink? Uba Stink.
You don't know who Uba Stink is?
Lori, what?
I don't know. She was deprived as a child.
What do they sing? And I might know it.
Smash Mouth?
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking yesterday.
Okay.
We were at the pool yesterday, and they were talking about how Smash Mouth did like one concert in like a little suburb of Indianapolis a couple weekends ago. So like that was all we listened to. So
I also appreciate that Bowling for Soup is going to be there.
And the Wanted 2.0. I forgot they even were a 1.0.
Like there's some solid artists this year.
It'll be great.
That's okay. Yep. We'll listen to some people at church on Sunday. I'll change the playlist in the sanctuary.
There you go.
Yeah. We ended up making it to one service today, but I heard at the first service they had a blackout over at main campus during Pastor Josh's message.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't happen on Fred's watch.
I was busy listening to a sermon from a biker, so
sweet.
I can get down with that.
It was pretty dope. I couldn't hear a word he was saying, but it was pretty powerful.
You felt empowered just by listening to it.
All right.
I'll take your word for it. I miss my girls though, because it's been, were y'all not there last Sunday?
Week. It's been a week.
Oh,
we were
Can't hear you.
I don't know how to help you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's your internet that's messing up tonight, not ours. Well, while she can't hear us, let's talk about how much she doesn't appreciate the nighttime shows.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, welcome back. Can you hear us?
Thanks. My headphones randomly connected to my phone instead of my computer, so I need to go and
we weren't talking bad about you at all.
Yeah, no, we were talking about your appreciation for nighttime entertainment.
Yes.
Look, for the record, I do like them. I would love to stay and watch them. Just not everybody agrees.
All I'm saying is 2 out of 3 people in this group have cried over Happily Ever After.
Well, and one person has no heart.
That's just silliness. But
wow. Okay, great.
Let's remove her from this chat real quick.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I have seen the show and I like it. I don't know. I just don't cry. I don't know.
So do you not stay because you're tired, or do you not stay because that's majority vote? Would you rather go do other things? What's the vibe here?
Probably all of them. We're like, I don't know. We just kind of go until now. Josh and I almost stayed for Fantasmic in February, I think, or maybe it was when we went in October. Because we love Fantasmic. We would have stayed. However, it started to drizzle and we left, and we were glad we left because it rained and the show got canceled. So.
There's a
every
second
time
show.
We have gone. Yeah, every time we've gone the last few years, it's been rained out, or it's been like pouring, and we're like, yeah, they're going to rain it out. And then by the time we're back to our resort, it's not rained out. So that's why we haven't seen it in a long time.
Initially it started because they were like, oh, instead of watching it, let's go ride rides. So we would go and do rides because it's shorter lines. And then, but now we don't even really kind of stay for that. We all kind of like poop out a little bit.
There's 3 types of Disney people. There's 3 types of Disney people. You have the person who cries and absolutely loves all the shows. You have the person who skips it all and goes and rides rides. And then you have the person who just goes home and goes to bed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're a mix between 2 and 3. Yeah. I am hoping when I go in December, since I'll be with the agency folks, that I'll have some that will stay late. Now, when I do the agency trips, like we'll stay, especially like when we go to the Halloween party, we'll stay, I know it's not the same, but we stay and watch those. So, I mean, I do enjoy them. It just,
and it's
just
not
depends.
like they ever change. Like,
yeah, right.
Especially for people like us that go to Disney quite often. Like,
right.
I'll sit here and give you crap about it all day, but like, honestly, you see the show one time, you could be good. Like, they're great shows. Don't get me wrong. I love going to see all of the shows, but like Luminous for me is a prime example of like, that could be a one and done for me. Like, if the park didn't close at 9, like if it was like Magic Kingdom and I could go ride more rides, like I would probably skip Luminous and go ride rides. But that one just, there's nothing to do. The park closes. So it's either see the show or go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I just got a text from Danny.
Danny Dixon?
Yeah, saying how it was a wonderful surprise to see us at church today because they weren't expecting us. So
he never texts me like that. I'm gonna have to have a conversation with him. Anyway, Magic Kingdom.
Are you
gonna cry talking about it?
I might. It's okay. Like, listen, I am so glad that I never saw Wishes, which was the precursor to Happily Ever After.
It was amazing. I still listen to it from time to time.
It was garbage.
Get out of here with that.
Compared to Happily Ever After.
It's a close one.
See, and everybody has their own opinions, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm just super glad that they didn't keep Enchantment because that was garbage. Like, the projections didn't work. Like, they tried to expand the projections and it didn't work. That the music just did not hit the feels that Happily Ever After did. Wishes did. Wishes really got into the feelings of Disney, but Disney's Enchantment, they tried for the 50th anniversary. They should have left it alone, which luckily Disney got smart. And I still remember sitting on the floor of my living room watching D23 and hearing
Josh D'Amaro or Bob Iger, one of the two.
I think it was Josh D'Amaro.
I think it was Josh.
When he was like, we're bringing back Happily Ever After. And I ran around my living room.
Yeah. I think it's important to know that, like,
I'm pretty sure there was a child drinking a bottle in my lap and the child just got launched. And I was just, it was just, I'm so glad it came back. Like, it really is a great show. Like, and there's so much that goes into it. Like, really all of the nighttime shows, like, there's so much that goes into it. They're not just your typical like quick and easy nighttime shows. There's like, I did some research because I actually had some time today.
Proud of you.
Thank you. On Happily Ever After, there are 58 moving searchlights that are staged all around the park. Like, I tried finding it. I don't think I could find it, but the amount of projectors that they have shining on the castle down Main Street, like, it's just crazy the amount of technology that goes into it and the mapping of, Cinderella's castle. Like, and I love what they've done. Like, I never take the time because really, I think that's what did it for me between Wishes versus Happily Ever After is the projections.
It's valid.
Like, I just feel like they do a really good job with the projections. And I really like what they've done with going down Main Street because, like, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but if you're not one of those people that wants to get there super early and get a spot right in front of the castle, then you would end up down Main Street and you wouldn't get to see the projections. But now with what they've done on Main Street, like, they brought more of the park into the projection.
Yeah, like, there's not a bad spot.
There's not anymore.
No, not since they put those projections on Main Street. I do think it's important to note that we had Happily Ever After. It was great. They said, we're taking that away from you. And on that last trip that I had before they were taking it away, I cried because Happily Ever After, and I cried because it was going away.
Yep. And
then we got Enchantment. It was very mid.
Yeah.
And then I was like Fred, and I was like, okay, we can bully them back into this, and we did. And the Disney adults won.
And it worked.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'm just like, the intro song with Jordan Fisher is just, when I feel sad, I listen to that song. I have it on my phone, and I just listen to that song. And it's just, when he sings Ready to Begin, it's just like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. I mean, I like, when that song comes on, or like when I'm listening to the park radio, whatever. I mean, I do get the feels of it. I don't know. I guess I haven't felt it that much to where I actually cry. Maybe next time I go, I don't know. I'll let y'all know in December. I'll go. I'll make sure that I watch it, and I'll let you know. I'll go live, and that way, if I cry, I can cry for you.
Well,
Fred and I will hype you up for tears.
Well, I'm gonna text you all day.
Yeah.
Just said you super sad Disney movies.
Yeah.
Just made I'm gonna make you think about Bambi
and Homeward Bound.
Right. Yep. And Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
Right into it.
Yeah, you're gonna make me have a meltdown.
Hey, crying is crying regardless of the reason.
Yeah. That's the end result we're looking for here.
Yeah. Doesn't matter why you're crying, just cry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the Hercules part that always does it for me. Look inside yourself. That's when the trumpets play and they all just man.
Well, it really just does a good job, the voiceover of setting it up, like we each have this desire, this dream that we want to achieve, which is true for a lot of us, especially the kids. As we grow up, we have these dreams that we want to live and really set out to achieve. And, even as adults, we have the same thing. So it really kind of speaks to all of us. And then it goes through, they just did this really good job of going through all of the emotions and all the experiences that you would go through as you're setting out to achieve these dreams. You're going to talk, you have stuff about friendship, you have stuff about falling in love, you have stuff about adversity, you have all these different emotions that they really bring into this overall theme of this dream that you're searching for and trying to find. And it's just, again, the Hercules part. I think that's what gets everybody.
It threads the needle.
It does.
Truly.
And the Tinkerbell part, every time Tinkerbell comes out, it's just, first of all, I want to try that.
I think you have to be 65 pounds.
You do. Yes. I would lose the weight for it. I would. Absolutely.
That's why you're doing the
Peloton.
The Peloton. Yeah.
You're gonna try out for Tinkerbell. Well, I don't know if y'all. I don't know which Facebook group it was going around. It might have been Rope Drop Humor, the one that I talked about last week. But there was one, and it was a picture of Tinkerbell, but it was clearly a grown man.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So there's hope.
Tinkerbell's a man.
There's hope.
From 150 feet up, nobody's gonna know what I look like. As long as I got the figure and the wings on, it's fine.
I think you look cute in LED blonde hair.
Right? Sign me up.
Yeah. Yep. No, thanks.
What you want to do? You want to zip line as Tinkerbell across Magic Kingdom?
I wouldn't zip line anywhere. I don't like heights.
Neither do I, but zip lining is amazing.
I know. I want to. That's a whole nother story I have to tell you one time. We took the youth kids and I couldn't do it. Or I might have told y'all. I couldn't do it, but no.
If Disney would make bank. Right, if they fortified that zip line, and they made that you got keys to the kingdom, you got behind the scenes over at Animal Kingdom, up close encounters with the elephants or whatever, zip line over Magic Kingdom, you come to the park at 3 a.m. and then you get one turn going across the zip line. You know how much money Disney could make off of that?
Until they get sued.
That's why you sign the waiver.
You know how many times Disney gets sued every year? It's fine.
Every day.
I know. Crazy.
Somebody tried to sue them the other day for the water park. And it's you're the one that walked into the freaking wave pool. You should have known what was going to happen.
Yeah. I also saw a video of that I don't know if it was a TikTok or something, or maybe it was a commercial. I don't know. They were they thought that the family was lined up with their back turned thinking they were going to get a picture, and the big wave came and crashed over everyone.
One, it's hilarious. It's a death trap. Two, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I did just a quick search. Yeah. Let's bring it back in. I did a quick search on Chat GPT just to see what it would say about Happily Ever After. And the first thing it says is it's a heart-tugging 18-minute fireworks projection show.
Facts.
So
heart-tugging, tear-jerking, Yeah.
Which one of the things that I do love too, going on to the fireworks, one, they do a great job with the fireworks. It's a fabulous fireworks show. But one of the things that I love is that a majority of the fireworks are done outside of the park, which nobody would ever know. And then two, if you pay really close attention, the roofs that are over Fantasyland beside the castle have sprinklers going off the entire time that the fireworks show is going on, because they don't want the roof to catch on fire, because some of the fireworks are right there. So if you look, you can actually see the sprinklers going off above, like over Peter Pan, Bippity Boppity Doo Peak, that stuff like that.
That's cool.
I think the best firework is the one with the Mulan scene where she's like aiming the thing and it like shoots out the side. That's the coolest one.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Sorry, go ahead, Lori.
No, that's okay. I was gonna say we actually not intentionally one time timed it where I think it was when we took my in-laws, and I was kind of frustrated a little bit that we didn't go and watch it because it was her first time there and probably never go back. But we chose to ride rides instead. But we actually were on Big Thunder Mountain, and we were like going right up when the fireworks were going off. So I was like, we couldn't have timed it any better.
Totally different. But I did that at Cedar Point on one of the rides they were doing. We went on the 4th of July, and I can't remember what ride we were on. If I saw it on a map, I could point it out. But like perfectly as we came around the bend, like the fireworks just started going off. And it was like, you time it perfectly. It's one of the coolest things ever.
Nice. Very nice.
Sweet.
But yeah, like, and that's one of the great things, like, I love about, like, Happily Ever After is just, like, there's so much to it. Like, if you're not into the projections, you don't have to watch the projections. You can just watch the fireworks from wherever you're at. Like, some of the most popular spots to watch Happily Ever After are, like, not even anywhere near the castle. Like, it's really just the soundtrack and the fireworks for so many people.
Yeah, I think where you sit is all, like, how you want to consume it matters a lot when it comes to, because like we have stood in front of the castle and like you don't get much fireworks when you're right in front of the castle. You are all projections there.
Yeah.
So like if that's what kind of person you are, then great. Stand closer to the castle, make sure you secure that spot. But you know, the further back you move, the more fireworks you're going to have.
I remember the first time we saw it in 2014, because again, I don't research anything for sure now, but back then I didn't even know to research. And so we just happened to be, it's on the side, kind of where Sleepy Hollow is. I guess maybe where the Spring Roll cart is, like maybe along that side is where I remember standing. And I do remember we were blown away, like, because we weren't anticipating that.
Back over here?
Actually, no, because we were kind of closer up in front of the cat, but like maybe where that second bridge is.
The bridge?
I'm pointing at my screen like you can see when I'm pointing at.
Oh, look!
Yes, like right up in there. I think we were kind of closer on that side.
Yeah.
And so we were closer up, but because we watched at that time the nighttime electric parade, and then we just kind of stayed for the projection show.
I always go for like right here in the center. Always, every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go there, and to discuss later, we do the balcony at the Contemporary a lot.
Oh yeah,
that's for another segment in this episode.
Fun.
They used to have, I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have like, I think it was
it's
right
back a little
here, the handicap section.
Isn't it back in like the reserve section?
I thought the handicap section's back over here.
Yeah, because the other side is for the
dessert party. Yeah. The handicap section is fabulous. Loved taking my parents who were in wheelchairs. That was some great views, especially because you don't have to rush to get there. You could literally show up like 10 minutes before, and you're going to have fabulous seats. But yeah, like really anywhere down Main Street is fabulous. But yeah, it's going to get... When we went back in May, it started getting... I mean, I want to say the show was around 9. We got there at like 8:30, and it was already packed. Like, this whole area was already packed out. So we didn't have anything to do, so we just hung out and chilled. We sat like right here. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
Some other good spots that I've heard about is, if you're just in it for the fireworks, is over here in the Rapunzel area. That's a really good spot to watch the fireworks. And then also back over
there,
here
in the back,
is another great spot. Yeah. Which the fireworks are done, like some of the big fireworks are done back over here. So you got some pretty good shots. But yeah.
Yep.
That's where I recommend. That's where we always go.
We were at Ohana one night for dinner, and they piped the music in there. So we happen to be not close by the window, but close enough where we can watch it.
If you could get dinner at one of the resorts and do a window seat, like that's also a fabulous like spot to view the fireworks. If you're not looking to be in the chaos of park.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too, is if you stay and watch the fireworks, if you're not, I mean, unless now, I mean, back when we went years ago, like you could stay in the park like an hour longer. I don't know how, if it's still, I guess it depends on when it closes, but
it depends
once the
on
fireworks
when it closes and what time the show is.
Yeah, once the fireworks ends, like you could be waiting a hot minute for a ride back to your resort.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the driving factor too. It's because, you know, the fam doesn't want to wait.
Which that's what we did. Like I want to say the show was at 9:30. The park closed at 10. Maybe the show was at 9:20 and the park closed at 10. So like immediately after the show, we had no desire to try to get out of the park because it's pure chaos. So we went and did Swiss Family Treehouse, which is one of my favorite things to do after Happily Ever After because you get to see the park all lit up. We went and rode Tiana's, and then by the time Tiana's was over, the park was closed. So we slowly made our way back. We took pictures down Main Street, got some photo passes, and then by the time that we got to our bus stop, like it was empty. So we only had to stall out like 40 minutes maybe.
That's not too bad.
No.
Yeah, nice.
We ready to talk dessert party?
Yes.
I've heard mixed reviews. I've never done it. I've thought about doing it a couple times, but I've heard some mixed reviews about the dessert party.
Yeah.
Primarily that the views suck and the desserts are nothing to write home about.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. The foods aren't that great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear that the pre-party is better than the post-party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Hopefully I don't have it backwards. I think that's what, yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, it was the same for, World of Color when I saw Disneyland. Like, honestly, the seats were what I thought were the best part of it. The desserts were nothing to write home about. The drinks were pretty cool. But for like $109 at Disney World at Magic Kingdom, I feel like that's a little, I don't know if I would ever be like, you should go do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, you do get like a dedicated area with a bunch of other people, and you do get like all you can eat, like snacks and desserts.
Yeah.
Drinks. If you're 21, you can have the alcoholic beverages. But yeah, again, like I've heard people complain about the views that they've gotten and end up getting a refund out of it just because, like, I mean, ultimately you're paying to see the show in like a reserved area. But hey, I mean, it's totally up to you.
We're not here to yuck any yums.
Now, one of the things that I would always recommend, and I tried to get one of my clients to do it, but she didn't want to do it, is the fireworks cruise that takes off from Contemporary. Like that, that sounds super cool.
That's cool.
If I ever had enough people go with us to Disney, I would totally do it.
Should we manifest that for 2026 too?
I think my wife would murder me. She's already on the verge of murdering me.
You did spend a lot of time in the car today together.
Maybe 2027.
Yeah, there we go. That's fine. Much better.
Okay. We're gonna have to start like planning out our years. Guys.
Disneyland and Disney World can only happen in the same year. I was lucky to pull that off this year.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen again. Also, I would just like to, nobody mentioned my shirt, but Olivia, if you're watching, I just want you to know I wore the shirt for you tonight.
Yeah.
I need to let her know.
I saw it I watched that movie for
me
the first time last
Rachel's
night.
watching it right now. I'm pretty sure.
So the reason my child is traumatized by...
Because you take her to waters that are shark infested and say it's a vacation.
No, because my mom let her watch Jaws when she was... Somebody's calling me. When she was younger, she watched Jaws. And I'm like, my mom's like, it's not scary. Yeah. I mean...
In your mom's defense, it could have gone one of two ways. She could have developed a love for sharks or a fear for sharks.
Well, and guess what happened?
It just happened to go the wrong way. So
For the
really,
longest
it's
time-
Liv's fault.
For the longest time, she was scared to take a bath. I'm like, Olivia, a shark is not going to come through the faucet.
You never
I mean,
know.
she was
It
little.
could.
Yeah, everything. Swimming, like you can't say shark in a swimming pool. Yeah, it was.
What would happen if I just yelled shark in the church one day?
I don't.
You'd be dead.
Yeah,
You would die.
I don't know. Try it and let's see.
I'm gonna wear this shirt in 2 weeks when I'm not serving.
Yeah, do that.
I saw it in Walmart. I was like, I have to buy it. It's $6.
My wife bought me a Jaws tank top today, so we're gonna be twinsies soon.
I wonder if there's
always
sharks in
twinsies.
Disney water.
In Disney water. We did see there was a shark near us in Pensacola this weekend.
I remember you saying that. There's sharks everywhere. It's fine. It's just
Mind
like
you-
alligators. They're not always gonna eat you. It's just a very small chance.
See, we're
Lori
off on
texted us and was like, "There's a shark in the water, but it was only like 5 foot." And me and Fred were both like, "That still sounds like a pretty big shark to me."
Well, because the lady was like, "Oh yeah, it was like this big," and she did more like 3 feet, and then another guy was like, "Yeah, it was probably about your size," and I'm like, "I'm fine. I mean, I know I'm short, but I think in shark life, that's big.
That is not a baby.
It's not a baby. No.
Anyway,
So
yes, dessert party is definitely an option if that's up your alley. But if you're gonna have like 4 or 5 people, just go to Disney Springs, get some desserts, and then go do the firework cruise.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like,
agreed.
way better idea. So
I also think
that's such
with
a
all
cool
of this, it's important to say that like while these nighttime spectaculars are set to like be a memory for all of your family, the memories are kind of what you set them to be. Like,
yeah,
you know, I have memories not of watching fireworks with my family, but of like playing checkers with my dad on Main Street at night, not of like watching fireworks or parades or anything like that. So, you know, while we do talk about all this stuff, you guys have to make your memories what you want them to be.
I mean, again, I think we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
You know, the way that I was raised going to Disney was not going to Disney because we were very poor. No. I didn't go till I was, you know, back in 2018, and you know, the first couple of trips that I took, like, was all about like that's you know, Rachel's family did the shows, and so I was taught to do the shows. Like Lori's family, they didn't have people to tell them how to do Disney, and so they, you know, they did shows, but that didn't necessarily become a priority for them. You know, other things became a priority. Like
yeah.
So, you know, I will sit here and say, like, all day, if you go to Disney for the first time, you have to see all the night shows.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But after that, like, find what you love, find where the memories are made, and do that. Like, no judgment at all, as long as you continue to go to Disney and not Universal.
This is not a paid ad for Disney.
Or a pun against Universal.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love Universal.
Anyways.
Who's next?
Lori, you want to do Epcot?
Sure. Let's go to Epcot. So I didn't realize until because I did a bit of research myself today. I didn't realize this one debuted on Olivia's birthday on December 5th in 2023. And I'll be honest, I've seen the other Epcot shows. I haven't seen this one. I feel like with Epcot, though, it's got to be very similar. And, you know, I mean, because it's not like they have a castle. It's projected on the lagoon. So it's, you know, it's not like it's on the castle where you have, you know, the projections or whatever. But the cool thing about it, let me go back to my other notes, lost, is that these barges that they put out, I know that was very controversial in the beginning. I know during the day they sit out there, but those barges, it says the fountains shoot up 100+ feet, which is pretty
they're
big.
pretty intense. They're pretty intense.
Yeah. The concept of it is to move like a symphony. And I don't know, that's weird. I'm not gonna say that. Some of these things.
Did you type this in a chat GPT?
Cut the whole thing.
Did you type this in a chat GPT? Hey, chat GPT, tell me about Luminous.
I have this is in Wikipedia, but which is probably
second best.
Second best. No, the one thing that this was a Google search, and it said that it's highlighting a human journey: birth, childhood, friendship, love, adventure, and remembrance. That's why I was kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot of fun things, though, at Epcot. I feel like it's not the same vibe as, I think, Magic Kingdom, where you get all the feels. But there's a lot of stuff, I think, to do around the nighttime shows at Epcot, because you don't necessarily, because it's not the projection. I mean, you won't see all of the visuals, but you can go on the boardwalk. There's a lot of stuff to do along the boardwalk if you want to, you know, hang out there. We actually, 4th of July, 2 summers ago, we arrived on 4th of July. So we didn't have park tickets that day. So we just took the Skyliner over from Art of Animation to Epcot. And we just kind of walked around in that area. And then I asked a cast member, I'm like, when is a good time to get back on the Skyliner so that we'll be in the air when the fireworks went off? And so he kind of let us know. I think it was like maybe 10 minutes before the fireworks show was supposed to start. Now, on 4th of July, they do have an extra fireworks show. So they have the regular one, and then they have I think it's called Freedom. Where is it? Heartbeat of Freedom. So it's a little bit of an extended fireworks, but that was super cool. So like we made it up in the Skyliner as the fireworks were going off. So that is really cool. Neat. Yeah. There's a lot of different things out there, but where's the best spot to view it as well? I think the majority of folks say by the Japan Pavilion. So let me ask this, because I didn't know this. And I was asking Josh because he's way better at remembering things than me, but he doesn't remember it either. So that store that's there in Japan, is there like a second level? Because it was showing, the pictures was showing like people standing outside on the second level. And so like that was like a really good view of where you can see Luminous. But I was like, I don't ever remember. We go in that store, especially when Braden's with us. We go in there every time and I don't remember going on the second level.
The Mitsukashi store or whatever?
Yes.
Oh, Tepanetto.
See,
yes.
Tepanetto.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's on the bottom, right? Is the store?
Yeah, the downstairs is the store, and then upstairs you have the sushi, and then on the far side you have Tepanetto.
Yeah.
I guess because we never ate up there, so we never went up there before. But yeah, that's super cool.
Tepanetto is where it's at.
Yeah, Josh has a friend that loves that place. I think they eat there all the time. There's also the bridge between UK and France. That's supposedly a really good viewing spot. Fred's going to bring up the map for us.
There it is.
Right here. Yeah.
There it is.
And right there to the right of it, isn't that reserved right down there?
Yeah,
I've never gone over there. I don't know.
I think it is.
There's one spot. Oh, I think it's in Italy. In the Italy Pavilion, they said is really good, like by the lagoon showcase. But that spot is reserved a lot. So if it's reserved, then it's probably going to be roped off where you can't see it.
Yeah.
And then also in Mexico, which La Hacienda.
Yeah.
I always get the two mixed up. Which one is a good spot for viewing? And then
we always go right there, Fred, right behind the port of entry, right there.
This is exactly where I go because it's slanted.
Mm-hmm.
So like I always sit right up at the top, and like when everybody stands up, there's nobody blocking my view. I have a perfect view every time.
And they have it all like taped off so that way no one gets in your way. The last 2 times we've watched Harmonious and Luminous, we've sat there and it's been really
I always
great.
sit right there.
I feel like when we have been, because we actually have been in Epcot more for fireworks than anything, because usually we're hopping there as a second park of the day. So we kind of linger around at night. Not that we necessarily sit around and watch it, but I always feel like we're in the back area by Mexico. It just happens to be.
I think we've primarily always watched it here. I think one time I watched it over here in Germany.
Yeah, Germany's a good spot too.
But I think for the most part, this is always where we go because, it, like I said, it's nice and slanted. So when everybody's standing up, nobody's blocking you.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you don't have to get there super early, which is super nice.
Yeah. I think the one time we sat in Japan was when it was Epcot Forever. So
was Epcot Forever the one with the jet skis and the?
Yes, but the jet skis did not last very long.
No, they didn't.
We did not see the jet ski.
Jet skis don't tend to last very long in any show at Disney, apparently.
No.
I know, like the feathered, no, not the feather. What was it?
Kite
the airboat, the kite tails. I can't ever remember that. I know we talked about that once before and y'all made fun of me. But anyway. And then also at Epcot, there's some dining packages that you can get, which like Spice Road Table, which I've never eaten there. That one's a little bit cheaper. It's $81 for adults, $31 for kids. And you get 2 small plates, your choice of 2 small plates. Okay, I had to look this up. A shared, I don't even know if I want to say it right. Where did Fred go?
I have no idea.
Please run Camera Hub to use Elgato virtual camera.
That's weird. I don't know.
That is super weird.
Yeah.
I'll fix it. Y'all keep talking.
Do you know? Okay, so and I was like, Josh, what is this? It says a shared, I don't know if I'm going to say it right, tagine, Tagine. So I had to look it up, and it's like, I guess it's like a pot of like stew. I don't know.
Interesting.
Didn't sound, yeah. And then you get a dessert platter and unlimited beverages, and that's over at Spice Road Table.
Yeah, the food over there is very adventurous. I don't think I would ever find myself willingly going to that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one either. This one says check in 60 minutes before the show, and then the dining experience lasts approximately 90 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, which was a little bit different. So over at Rose and Crown, that one was a little bit more, not much more, but $92 for adults, $41 for kids. You get an appetizer, an entree, a dessert, and unlimited beverages. This one says check-in begins 15 minutes prior to the show. So I wonder why there's such a big gap between the two.
I wonder if you get like actual dinner at Spice Road Table, but at Rose and Crown, you mainly just get like the viewing experience. He's back.
Maybe so. Nope. You can see him?
Oh.
No?
I can see him, but he's not moving.
Oh, I can't see him.
He's doing a great job.
Go, Fred.
I have no idea what's happening.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Yeah, just keep talking. Anyway, both of them have a 24-hour cancellation policy. I don't know that I'd be that interested in doing that. Like, I feel like when we get to Hollywood Studios, maybe the Fantasmic dining package might be a little bit more, but I don't know that I would do either one of these two.
Yeah, I think a margarita and the viewing area by Port of Entry is all I need, honestly.
Right. And it's way cheaper than $90 per adult and kid.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. This one also has the firework boat cruise, which I do have a client that did that, and they enjoyed it a lot. He's one of my favorite clients. He likes to book those kind of things. But yeah, him and his family did the fireworks cruise, and they really enjoyed it a lot. Said it was awesome. That's like,
I feel like the Epcot fireworks cruise, you get a lot more up close and personal than you can for the Magic Kingdom one.
Yeah. And it starts at $450. And it's for up to 10 people. So again, if you're going with friends and not just your family, then, you could split the cost, but, it's kind of pricey just to, I guess for the experience, like I said, if you have a bunch of friends that go and just to do something, or if you have the money and you want to spend it, go for it. Call me up and I'll help you out.
Yeah. Just, what's your email again?
Right. Anyway, but yeah, I feel like the Epcot experience is just a little different. It's kind of, not that it's just fireworks, because it's a little bit more than that, but it doesn't have the feels like, Magic Kingdom might. Some of the tips, and I think I went through those already, to get in the line, if you're not at the park, or if you are at the park and you want to leave and you're at a Skyliner resort, I highly recommend get in line before the fireworks start, and then you just, can watch it. And then we also were able to see, and I can't remember if it was Hollywood Studios or maybe Magic Kingdom, but it had to be Hollywood Studios since it's along that route. We were able to see some of those fireworks from the Skyliner as well. And then over at the Boardwalk, especially around, this was more 4th of July type events. I don't know if they have it all year round, which I'm sure they do. They have street performers out there. Mm-hmm. Different things taking place. Josh and I, when we took the boat, when we stayed at Port Orleans, we ended up taking the boat back instead of the Skyliner was down. And so we had to go through the Swan and Dolphin. Like, there was multiple stops that we had to take before we could get off the boat. And he's like, why don't we ever come walk around the boardwalk? I'm like, I don't know. Like, we always say we're just going to take chill trips and just go kind of do those different things. But now that he's seen that area and we've seen stuff, I think when we go in February, maybe we'll go check it out, because we've never just kind of walked around on that side to just check it out. I'm always dying really cool to go to Beaches and Cream. Just never got to do it.
Yeah, we've done the boardwalk. My wife and I and the kids have done the boardwalk at night, but I've also gone with a friend a couple years ago, probably 7-8 years ago. And we went to, I think it was called the Big River Bar and Grill. We had a few beers there, and then we had a few drinks at the Abracadabra, and there were street performers out. We had boardwalk pizza. It was a whole experience, and I highly recommend like just hanging out at the boardwalk.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Especially
that
at
in
night.
February. We got to get it.
I think COVID did some damage to the street performers on the boardwalk, but from what it sounds like, they're slowly but surely bringing them back.
Coming
maybe?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was doing some research, it had, I mean, it could have been false, but it had, July 4th, 2025, like street performers and stuff. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Epcot's not as heartwarming to talk about like Magic Kingdom and even Hollywood Studios with Fantasmic. Because I think those two are the top of the line shows.
For sure.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have anything else you want to talk about, or we can move on to yours.
I am ready to talk about Hollywood Studios if you are.
Let's go for it. I love Fantasmic.
For the sake of the listener and not the viewer, Fred Briley has just jumped ship on us. Not sure where he is, but sure he'll join us soon.
Yeah.
I texted him that we miss him to see kind of how it's going, and we haven't heard back yet.
Right. Especially because he's like the main one. So hopefully we don't lose the recordings and stuff.
Isn't all for nothing.
Right. We'll have to do a repeat. Yeah.
Moving on to Hollywood Studios. I'll kind of do the lead up before Fantasmic because, Fantasmic is the nighttime spectacular of Hollywood Studios. But
yes,
there is the Wonderful World of Animation, which is like a projection / mini fireworks show that is on the Chinese theater. Gabby and I happened to stumble into it one night, and the audio from it was like pounding. Not sure why it was so loud, but it was a really cool like projection show up on the Chinese theater, and you had the occasional firework and stuff, which was really cool. Fred's here. He's just... Oh, that's not Fred. That's my mom. She said I'm here. Hi, Mom. But that was a really cool thing to see. And then in between that and Fantasmic, highly recommend just people watching on Sunset Boulevard and sitting at like the ABC commissary and like people watching down commissary lane, because people are like struggling to get to that very last attraction before Fantasmic, and they're struggling to like get to the line to queue up for Fantasmic. So it's kind of funny just to watch everyone kind of scatter around and see where they want to go. He's back.
He's back.
The long-awaited Fred Riley.
I just want you guys to know, I had you pulled up the whole time, so I heard
Good.
everything that you said.
Good.
I don't know why my phone randomly decided that it was not going to work as webcam anymore, so I had to go back up.
Oh,
sweet.
I guess we can ask if you have anything else to say about Epcot, even though we've moved on to Hollywood Studios.
I don't. I think Lori did a fabulous job.
That's what we like to hear.
Thanks.
You can get a nighttime package with Fantasmic before you go see it. You can eat dinner at Hollywood and Vine, use Prime Time, Sci-Fi Dine-In, and the Hollywood Brown Derby. If I had to pick any of those, I'd probably go 50s Prime Time. I don't know that I've ever eaten a real meal at Hollywood Brown Derby.
Hollywood and Vine is fabulous. Josh can't say the same, but I could say it's absolutely fabulous, and loved Hollywood and Vine. I was super salty though because I paid the upcharge for the dining package and the show got canceled because of
that's a bummer.
I also did the Hollywood and Vine package years ago. We did during Star Wars Celebration, so they had like all the Star Wars characters out, like Pluto or Goofy and Mickey and everyone dressed up as like Jedis and Darth Vader and whatnot.
Oh, fun.
And then we saw Fantasmic too, and that is when I realized that like you don't really need a dining package to see Fantasmic because there's not a bad show in the amphitheater whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's not. Unless you sit super close front row, then you're going to get soaked. And if that's not your desire,
then don't sit there.
Don't sit there.
I'll be throwing on my poncho.
There you go.
Of course you would.
Gosh.
And then there is Fantasmic. What Disney describes as be there as the forces of good and evil battle it out in Mickey's dream during this extravagant open-air nighttime musical.
It really is a fabulous show.
It really is. I might cry at Fantasmic.
Like,
breaking news.
Not gonna cry.
Lori has feelings.
Not gonna cry.
Well, I do
Calling
love it
now.
There is the iconic
it really is.
Mickey dance too. Anyways, and then there's the water projections and the fight scenes and Mickey just being Mickey. It's all wonderful.
Yeah. The dragon, fabulous scene.
Yes.
It's well thought out. Like when Mickey starts down here, it goes dark. Mickey's up there. Like it's a well planned show. It really is.
And the
Yeah.
fireworks coming out of his fingers.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
We
amount
had
I would pay to do that scene.
There you go. You can be Tinkerbell first, and then you can go over and be Fantasmic
Don't tempt
Mickey.
me with a good time.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. We did my agency a couple of years ago. We did like a little party. So we had like a private event right behind the theater where we had dinner and dessert, and then we was able to go. Actually, I think we might have sat in the tables and watched it. That was super cool. I love Fantasmic.
It is a
That
good
one
show.
I would stay for. Yeah.
Well,
Good.
and like Fantasmic is a show. Like it's a performance. Like
Yeah.
it's different than the others. Like it really pulls everybody in because you're like whereas
Yeah.
the other ones you're just kind of staring and watching some water shoot up into the sky and some projections on a castle. Pretty cool.
I also
I'm
haven't
sad
seen
I
it
didn't get to
since
see
the new.
Disneyland.
I haven't seen it since the new Moana Frozen a new
Solid
scene too.
scene. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen that version yet, but changing that in September.
It's a solid scene. I like the addition.
Yeah. When did they? I don't remember now because the last time I saw it was probably 3 or 4 years ago.
It was right after COVID that they debuted it all because there was like a whole like
Oh, then I must have saw
Fantasmic
it then.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the boats at the end with all the characters,
Mhm,
like that's
mhm.
a really good like way to just finish it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've told you guys about the book series I'm reading, Kingdom Keepers, for any Disney nerds that like to read. Highly recommend. But the third book I just read was all about they were saving everyone from Maleficent and the dragon and Fantasmic, and like walked through all the like background stuff of that, and it was super cool.
Your mom said she saw it in March.
She did see it in March. She went on a little Hollywood Studios escapade.
Without
She saw
you?
it in March.
Fun.
Yeah, she went down there. Actually, met with my best friend Katie, and they went to Hollywood Studios and they ate at Mama Corolla's before it closed. Not bitter,
My mom.
obviously.
If my mom went to Disney with my best friend, I would
Well-
slash your tires.
That's for after the podcast. We could talk about that.
No,
I'd be.
that cuts deep. My mom and my best friend at Disney without me.
It's all good.
I'd be stacking bodies.
Speaking of someone who's going to trips with his best friend without his wife.
First of all,
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. Okay, sorry.
don't shoot shots because shots are gonna come straight back at you.
I know. Hey, y'all are always shooting shots at me. I got to get them in when I can. It's not that often.
Listen, the
That's right.
only thing that I will feel bad about is Disneyland. That's it. Disney World was a straight guys trip. If I had went with Rachel's dad, that would have been different.
Yeah.
This
I'm
was
just
a straight
teasing.
guys best friends trip. Now Disneyland, you could shoot the shots. I feel bad about that one.
Well, that was a work trip.
I wish
though.
she could have gone. It was. I still wish she
It was a
could have
tax
gone.
write-off.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
refer to it as work trip. I'm not allowed to. Tax write off, yes.
Work trip, no.
Work trip, no.
Oh, gosh.
I don't really have much else to say about Fantasmic.
Have you ever
It's
done
a 10 out of
the
10
dessert
show.
party?
For Fantasmic?
Yeah,
I forgot it even existed.
it does. I feel like the seats are garbage.
Great. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
If you're
know. Like
listening
I've
to
just
this-
I've never heard great things about the dessert party for Fantasmic. The dining plan or the dining package, whatever you want to call it, like that really is the way to go. Like, especially if one of the options, like sci-fi drive-in dining package, solid. Like, because you really do get great seats, and you don't have to show up an hour before the show starts.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, like honestly, you could show up right before the daggone show starts, and you're gonna get your seat's
Get a
gonna be
seat.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you
I
have
al-
OCD and like to be center of the stage, it's
right.
gonna be you're gonna want to be there an hour before.
Yeah.
But if not,
Sit anywhere.
Sit where you can.
Last thing I want to mention, Fantastic pre-show. All of the music they play are throwbacks and bangers,
Oh.
and I think about them
Yes.
a lot. Ashley Tisdale's "Kiss the Girl"
I do
won't miss it. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
it every time. And like, there's a different vibe at Fantasmic. You got the wave going.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people are truly living their best lives at the Fantasmic pre-show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I hate getting out of Fantasmic though. Like that is
Oh,
worse
yeah.
than getting out of Magic Kingdom.
The bottleneck is awful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's rough.
Especially if you are in the middle and like where you have to get up through all those people.
Yeah. Or if you're like all the way at the left side and in the very bottom front row, then you got to wait to get all the way up and then all the way
And
out.
all the way out.
See, this is why we don't do nighttime shows.
You're helping Lori's case here.
Yeah, we don't have the patience.
There was also the time when they were doing Fantasmic, and then they were doing the fireworks for Star Wars because they had just opened back
on the Chinese theater.
Yeah, and like people were like trying to rush from Fantasmic to the fireworks, and it was everywhere all the time.
See, that's why I now rush from Fantasmic to Olga's Cantina. And then I can just sit there and drink for an hour.
Yeah.
Or if you ask the lady at the bar, 45 minutes, because that's the time limit.
Oh, really?
45 minutes. Is it still a 2-drink limit, or is it just 45 minutes?
I don't know. I had 2 drinks, and I had 45 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah. Either or, maybe.
Fun times. Yeah. What's next?
I think we just did kind of like planning the perfect Disney evening, although we already know what mine is going to be.
All 3 shows.
Go back and go to bed. All 3 shows.
All 3 shows. Somehow it's pulling it off. That would be amazing. Yeah. If I could see all 3 shows. The ideal evening would be if they could bring back Rivers of Light at Animal Kingdom and I could see all 4 shows.
That would be awesome. I wish they would. I wish they would bring back.
Stop for some ice cream in between 2 of the shows.
What if we?
Speaking of, somebody's popping fireworks right now. Like 4th of July is over.
No, it's not. 4th of July is not over until midnight. It's still 4th of July weekend. It's all one big.
Yeah. And I guess that was you that put on here about the Boardwalk pizza and the entertainment. So hanging out over there.
I really recommend the electrical water pageant over at Bay Lake. It's always a favorite. Yeah. Have you guys ever watched it?
Can't you see that from Poly Beach too? Like over by, I'm pretty sure I've seen it over that way.
Yeah, I posted a little video of it, but it's right after, it's like 30 minutes after Happily Ever After, but it starts over at the Contemporary and comes over through the water over to the Poly and then makes its way over to Wilderness Lodge and then Fort Wilderness. So it does kind of like a circle, and it's really cool. It's patriotic too, Fred. You're welcome.
There's no Jordan Fisher and there's no Hercules, so I'm sorry.
No.
Not up my alley.
There is a King Triton-ish.
There is.
So there's that. So highly recommend doing that. One night we watched the fireworks at Happily Ever After, grabbed a cocktail, waited on the beach for the electrical water pageant, and that was a cool little evening we had.
Sweet.
I liked it.
Fun stuff. So there's lots of nighttime activities, not just around. I know we kind of themed it around 4th of July, but
I didn't at all.
I know you didn't.
I just showed up.
You did a great job, even though you were the least present of all of us.
Hey, that was my goal. I actually unplugged my camera on purpose to see if you 2 could handle this on your own.
I think
we did. We did good. We did a good job.
We did better.
Except for the point where you stressed and was like, we may have to re-record this whole thing.
Slight panic.
Again, I was listening the whole because before I just left, I pulled it up on my laptop so I could keep tuned in. So
gotcha.
Fun times. So next week we are talking all about how to pack like Lori.
Pack like a pro. I think I do a very good job at packing. I legit can pack for a week in my carry-on, in my backpack.
The question is, when do you start packing?
It's questionable. For Disney and Universal, definitely at least a few weeks before I'll start throwing stuff in. I'll have the suitcase out on the floor and I'm throwing things in it because I wear very specific outfits when I go on those trips. So I'm start gathering and Josh is like, why are you already packing? I'm because I'm trying to get my thoughts together on what I want to wear.
Anything earlier than the day before is unacceptable.
We've got a whole tote in the closet in front of me with outfits for our September trip. They're not planned out, but there's just a crap.
Yeah, stuff that you're getting and you just kind of start throwing in there.
Yeah, we have outfits for the kids every day, so we know what they're gonna wear, and now we can kind of coordinate with the kids. You know how it works, Fred and Lori.
I'll have to send y'all my video. Last time when we went to Nationals, I made a little video of me packing all my stuff. It was cute.
I always pack the day before.
I'm sure your wife loves that.
She handles herself and the girls. I handle me. I help with the girls, but I pack all of my stuff gets thrown in the day before. All the way up
Kind
to
of how
the
Josh is too.
final moments before we leave.
And I think I'm the only one in the family that packs that far in advance. Everybody else is like
Too much.
kind of, but I'm like, what if you need something? Now it's too late to go buy it. So
Absolutely
you're
not.
going to have to, you got what you got.
There's Walmart delivers, Target delivers, Amazon definitely delivers. If I
Not the
forgot
next day.
something, absolutely it
Well,
does.
Walmart and Target, well, but not Amazon.
But if I forgot something, I'll just buy it. I mean, at that point, I'm at Disney. I'm going to spend a butt ton of money anyway. Might as well add to it.
Yeah.
My friend that went to Hollywood Studios with my mom, that's what she's for. We're always like, hey, Katie, we forgot this. Can you meet us at the hotel when we get there? And she's like, yep, I'll be there.
Sweet.
She's the
There you go.
greatest.
Get Katie's, we're going to need to get Katie's number.
I'm throwing Katie in the group chat.
All right, so that's next week. Make sure you tune in and join us next week as we talk about how to pack like a pro and all the fun travel essentials that you probably didn't even think about that will come super in handy at all sorts of different locations. So we're going to not solely talk Disney World, but we're going to talk some other locations as well. So make sure you tune in. As we wrap up, I want to give a shout out. Thanks to everybody that joined us. Really appreciate you guys joining us. Even though I was absent for like half the show, but it's totally fine. We'll figure that out next week.
Yep.
All right. So the easiest way to stay in contact if you're wanting to learn more about Going Beyond the Castle is probably our website. We update our website each and every week with all things Going Beyond the Castle, whether it's our audio podcast, video podcast, or blog posts, or things like that. Definitely head over to www.goingbeyondthecastle.com. Check that stuff out. For the fastest way to find us, you can head over to our Beacons channel, beacons.ai/Going Beyond the Castle. And that is going to be all the locations of everything Going Beyond the Castle, as well as Lori and I's travel agent pages. And then, of course, we do have an email if you're looking to reach out to us for whatever reason, whether it be to book a trip, whether it be to inquire about coming on the podcast to talk about something, or even just to recommend a podcast topic. Reach out to us, info@goingbeyondthecastle.com. And with that being said, any last words before we wrap up the episode?
Shout out to Mom for participating this week.
Yeah, your mom has been great.
Yeah, except
She's
for
been
that
hanging
time
out
that
with
she
us.
went to Disney without you and went with your best friend.
It's happened more than that. I'm not.
I think I'm salty about that.
I think you're more upset than I am at this point.
That's funny.
It's fine.
I'm not saying anything about Mom because
She's great.
Mom's
She's
a
great
good mom.
90% of the year, except for when she goes to Disney without her daughter. But hey,
Yeah, whatever.
maybe she had her reason.
yeah.
Yep. Anyways,
Anyways,
That's all I got. Anything?
nope.
All right, cool.
Peace
Thanks
out.
for joining us. We will talk to you guys next week.
see you guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today on Going Beyond the Castle. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did sharing. To stay up to date on all things Going Beyond the Castle, head over to our website, goingbeyondthecastle.com. There you'll find more info about your hosts, both audio and video versions of our episodes, our weekly blog, and even some fan-favorite merchandise. Want to follow along on social media? The easiest way to connect with us is through our Beacons channel, beacons.ai/Going Beyond the Castle. You'll find links to all our social platforms, travel updates, and giveaways in one place. And hey, if you're dreaming about your next big adventure, whether it's Disney, Universal, a cruise, or a tropical escape, we'd love to help make it happen. Our travel planning services are completely free when you book through us. Until next time, keep dreaming big, keep exploring, and as always, go beyond the castle.